When you were stealing that extra bow. No, bow, space, bow. You know.
Hold on a minute here. Wait a minute. I want the world. Oh boy. See here. I want the world to see Doug Radio. There we are. Oh, look here, we live. Look at that. There we are.
Oh my God, Steve, we're on.
I know.
Maybe say these things.
I know we're on. You know we're on.
I didn't know that.
Oh, sure. Steve, we're always on. Don't worry.
Well,
I'm sharing the show. Look how nice.
But you're not really on camera. Look at this.
I'm going to get on camera. Well, because the show didn't start yet. This is preamble. People are just getting their dinner. They're getting in front of the screen. They're getting their bibs, their napkins. They don't know what's going on. They see some kind of weirdness behind us. I got to order a Lyft to get home.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. Although I did get my car inspected today. I know you're very interested to know about that. What? Where is my thing? I can't have a show. Here we go. You know how I like to start the show? This is so weird. You see this here? Oh, I know what happened. There we go. You see, it's always some. Now we can start the show. There's applause. Yes, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You are not in another dimension. You are not taken back to the 19s. Would that be 70s or 60s? That kind of psychedelic look.
60s.
You think 60s? What is that, 67?
Early 70s.
Early 70s?
At the latest, yeah.
This is the Austin Powers version of the Steve Square Show. That's right, baby. Shackadacalish. It's the Steve Squarelicious Show. What does Austin Powers... What does he always say? Yeah, baby.
Groovy,
baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. So that's the show. So don't be alarmed. You didn't tune into another show. This is, you know what I tell people? They come here for safety. You're safe here. You're interrupting me and Steve. We're actually involved in a game of perfection. Because you are what you play, you know. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, first of all, stop. We
gotta remove some of these.
Take all the parts.
All right. You don't have to take them all. Take a couple.
Well, yes.
Why? Oh, because it's. Oh,
because
okay.
that's how you play.
Well, let me angle it so people can see.
Because this is how you play the game.
Let's show me how to play the game. Let's take the pieces out. Let's play the game for the whole show. All right. Let's see. All right. So now what happens?
Let's go back to 60.
Well, we'll just do a couple. So we don't have to do a whole 60 seconds. So now we hit it.
Yes.
And now you got to try to. All right. Oh boy, look at me.
Oh no.
Oh wow, you're good. Come on. This is what they call an octagon, I believe.
Ooh.
I got it. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Look at me. I needed things like this when I was great at this when I was a kid.
You're a maniac.
I play this every day.
That's what it is.
Oh. We're running out of time, like the rest of my existence. Come on, Steve. Come on. Oh! Aren't they supposed to pop up and fall out? Ah, what a crappy game. I thought they were supposed to pop, and they all come out.
I guess parents complain that...
What a cheap game.
Parents complain that they probably lose the pieces.
And there's one piece missing.
There's one piece missing anyway. Well,
let's put this to the side. Well, this is the game of perfection, right? I was really good at operation. I thought I was going to be a doctor. I thought it was that easy that you just took...
You're going to be a surgeon.
I thought I was going to be a surgeon. I thought that's how real surgery was.
I did not know that.
Like, if you hit an organ, it buzzed. If you were doing surgery. Wouldn't that make surgery a lot better and a lot less malpractice insurance?
I would think so, Steve. I would think so.
How are you doing? How was your weekend?
It was very nice, thank you.
Did you have a nice weekend?
It was all right. I worked, but it was all right.
It's a little chilly out there.
It was a little chilly out there.
Or it is a little,
right,
I should.
Right?
I have to start off the show. First of all, it's a big day.
Is it really?
It's a huge day on the Steve Squared Show. I'll tell you why.
Why is that?
Angle yourself in. Get in there, Steve. I like what it's very groovy. Today is my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Pops. So today, we celebrated it yesterday. It was a big fiesta. It was wonderful. We had lots of chicken cacciatore.
Which I'm sure you ate that, didn't you?
I like chicken mushrooms and carrots. It's healthy. It's not bad. We had grilled chicken, and then there was chicken parm. You would have taken part of it. Oh, you would have had some of the chicken parm. Come on, just a little. No! What is... God. Come on, you know me better than that. So we had a wonderful time. Got some nice gifts. It was a big celebration.
Is it?
Wonderful time. My dad had a great birthday. He's having a great. He's watching the show. What better way to spend your birthday than watch the Steve Squared Show? So I'm telling Steve, I'm talking to Steve about my dad's birthday, and I'm talking to him, and then he just subtly slips in something about his birthday. And I was like, is he mentioning something from... Then I remembered, of course, November is Steve's birthday month, along with also the Jim. Jim's got his on Thanksgiving. So you two with November, along with my dad. So I, as a longtime friend, dropped the ball enormously. Just terrible.
It's all right.
You're
very busy.
No excuse. That's never an excuse. You're never too busy to wish someone to remember. You should never be too busy to remember unless you have some kind of condition or illness, which luckily not that I think I hopefully don't have. So, how was your birthday? And happy birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. I appreciate that. It was nothing great.
Did you go out to dinner? Did you tell me you went out to dinner?
I didn't go out to dinner. We had dinner. My parents, my mom made some dinner, made a cake.
What kind of cake?
What do you care? To you, it's gonna be.
My mom makes a cake for my birthday.
Sugar and chocolate. And
everything nice.
Yellow.
Steve enjoys.
Yeah, it was
like a yellow cake.
Like a yellow.
A bunt? A bunt? Was it a bunt? A bunt.
Just because you want to say bunt, I'll call it a bunt.
A bunt.
It was it was
a
just a basic yellow cake with chocolate icing. It was nice.
Basic yellow cake. Was it Duncan Hines or was it?
I don't know if it was Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker. It was one of the two.
Now, I love to give trivia. Duncan Hines is responsible. Duncan Hines is a true person. Is an actual person.
Right.
Duncan Hines was a writer. He actually a reviewer of restaurants, and he reviewed the KFC gas station chicken stand.
Right.
And that got a lot of publicity for Colonel Sanders. And speaking of Colonel Sanders, we want to wish him and all of the vets a wonderful... I don't know if Colonel Sanders actually served in the military or was an actual colonel, but did you notice I'm wearing an Army hat?
Oh, really?
Of course.
Veterans Day.
It was Veterans Day, and I want to give a shout-out to the vets. They had a wonderful... I watched a little of the parade. Did you watch a little of the parade?
I did see a little of it. It was
very nice. So I want to get, so Steve, you know me. You always call me, like right before the show, I saw the game Perfection sitting here and I had a grip. Steve calls me the prop comic.
Yes, I do.
I found out it was Steve's birthday, and I immediately ran out 6 minutes before the show. We were at 1% on our my computer, and everything was going to shut down, but it didn't matter because I wasn't going to drop the ball again.
I got a gift.
Of course you did.
So is there a
I didn't have time to wrap it, or actually I did.
Oh wow, CVS, the gift that says. I hope there's a receipt.
I got you a pandemic shot. I got you Ozempic. You can't find it anywhere.
Is the tag still on it so I can...
Well, you can return it.
Oh my goodness.
Well, first open your card. Oh my goodness. I got everything to show you,
I got a card.
And then you can open your gift. You always start... You ever go past when you were a kid, did you always go past the card, or were you good like that? Were you well?
Oh no, I love to read the card. It was fun
for the gift.
It was fun because it made the anticipation of the gifts even more exciting, and the card was always something. Oh, look what this is! It's a birthday fitness test for you. Look at that, Steve.
Right. So not only do I wish him a happy birthday, but I found a way to stick it to him. What do you think about that?
Score 5 points if you can touch your toes 12 times.
5 points if you could touch your toes 12 times.
Score 10 points if you can do 30 push-ups.
30 push-ups, 10 points.
Score 15 points if you can do 50 sit-ups.
50 crunches, 15 points.
Score 100 points if you can get out of bed the next day.
Very nice. And then I put a few quotes in there that I thought you might enjoy. Read a few of the quotes that I wrote in there.
I would like to read those.
Sure.
Unless you'd like to read those.
No, I think they would come great from you. That's why I wrote them.
Because this is something new.
Angry quotes.
Steve-O. You gotta eat less. Exercise more. Would you give your dog a cup of coffee and a cigarette for breakfast?
I would. It was that.
Especially it was that
Astro. I'd give him a cup of coffee and a cigarette.
We all need a little discipline. I had boils, and now look at me. The tape measure don't lie. If you can do it, you won't do it. If you won't, you can. Well, you can do it if you want it. Oh,
right. There you go. You can do it if you want it.
Want it? Yes. Best of luck and happy birthday. Funny Man Coach Mentors. DVK.
I'm lengthening the amount of names because I started to let's put that up and show the folks. Look how nice. Do you see that? And oh wait, you got a gift too. Now you can go to the gift. This is the birthday episode of the Steve. This is the psychedelic birthday episode of the Steve Squared Show. This is what happens when you watch the show on meth, on LSD.
What could
psychedelics. When the truth is told you and... Oh, delicious.
C4.
I got you C4.
Steve.
Beautiful. Look how nice, but look how fun the can looks.
It is fun.
It's actually from Starburst. Now it has come out with
it's a Starburst flavor, Steve. Or Starburst, do they say strawberry?
And if you notice, what does that little word say there? Zero.
Zero sugar.
No sugar. It's a Starburst flavor, right? So it not only will give you energy, but it's now met, because it's got strawberry flavors, it's got fruit in there.
No, yeah. Of course it does.
Now,
we know it's real.
We do know it's real, because these are now, and I segue beautifully, these are now the new requirements. I want to show you something. See, these are now, I didn't do this by happenstance. So I love that word.
By happenstance is a very good word.
This is now part of, I say, strawberry flavoring. Obviously, I'm being facetious. Obviously, it's an artificial flavor. But not according to the new school regulations. That would count as a fruit. Look what's now made their way into the school system. Lunchables are now part of what you could get. That, remember going in and it's a cracker and some sweaty piece of pink rubber meat, and then you put a piece of cheese.
Delicious.
Of course, I knew Steve would enjoy that. He's finding no problem with this.
And maybe sometimes they would put Oreos in there as a dessert.
Really?
Some of them, yeah.
That's the high-price Lunchables. Well, these are for the free funding. So, and if you look, Steve, I thought, Steve, you didn't even make a mention on this. Look what article I took it from.
The article? It's from the Washington Post.
Right. No Newsday. I thought you'd be proud.
You've upgraded
I'm reading the Washington Post. What are you playing over there?
Nothing. I'm waiting for a message from my boss. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I apologize.
No, dude, we don't want to interrupt you.
No, it's not.
So, is everything okay? You get a job by the end of the show?
I should have a job.
All right. So what do you think about Lunchables being now served as part of the school lunch system, as they're meeting a requirement.
In what school system is this happening at?
Well, I'll tell you what's happening.
This is very obviously this is like pearl clutching headlines, But
I like pearl clutching headlines.
But you don't know.
Well, it's probably, who knows where it is. But my point is, and I'll tell you another thing, because I have a lot of friends and family in the school system. ConAgra, which supplied all the schools with the lunches,
sure.
Kraft and Heinz now are responsible for this and making their way in.
Right.
So they have made the serving portions and what they had to change to fit the narrative of what's allowed. Also, if you're sending your kids to school, I just want you to know this. Tomato sauce and French fries count as vegetables.
I agree. Well, it's better than ketchup.
Cat soup. Why do they call that cat soup? What is that behind that?
Catsup.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
They're base.
Exactly.
Speaking of sports, let us shout out to some of our local football teams. The Jets and Giants are doing fabulous.
Oh, God.
I'd like to
give
a
horrible day.
If you notice the Daily News, see, I'm not keeping it Newsday. I'm changing it up. City Slackers, get it?
Yes.
That's a take on the old City Slickers movie, for those of you not understanding.
Look at that.
What do you think?
Look at you prepared. You had printers.
We should have been in this. Let me go back for a moment. We should have been in the studio tonight, as you well know.
Right.
And I had this guest lined up, Steve Charles, entertainer. I was going to ask him to sing happy birthday to my dad, to you. It was going to be fantastic. I had this whole great idea. And then seconds before we were supposed to go on at the studio, I get a message from Tony. Something, he asked, we were having some kind of issues going on here. It was a little vague for me. I don't like vague. But anyway, here we are.
Maybe in a couple of weeks you can
pinpoint. Let's probe him.
We'll probe him.
We'll probe Mr. Tony. Also, what'd you think of this guy? The Knicks played this Wanabamamia. Did I say his name right? This is that 7'4" guy, the Frenchman. He's 19 years old.
Right.
So he was the number 1 draft pick for San Antonio, and he was a big deal. He came to play the Knicks at the Garden. And he scored like 6 points. The Knicks were routed them. And it was on national TV. Hubie Brown was doing the game.
Yes.
How old is Hubie Brown?
He's great, though. He's a legend.
That's what I mean. He's good.
Yeah.
He's like Clyde. They don't miss a beat. It's unbelievable. He's got to be at least 80.
Let's find out.
I mean, he coached the Knicks in the late 70s, early 80s.
Hubie is 90.
Oh my God! Are you kidding?
No.
That's insane. He was doing the Knicks game, and he was great.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. There's your unbelievable moment. Hey, Steve.
Yes.
How do deer tell their children to grow up? How do deer tell their children to grow up? It's the joke of the day.
Deer children to grow up.
Do you know? Wait, don't answer yet. We'll play this. The high-value production here.
I'm baffled.
The buck stops here.
So what was that again?
How do deer tell their children to grow up? It's loose.
That's really.
It's loose.
Well, that's not the buck stops.
Sorry. Did I say that right?
Where did that come from?
I'm not really sure. I'm on that funny editor. I get those emails. They give me a joke of the day. It's like funnyeditor.com or something like that.
How to grow the buck stops?
No, how do you tell? I don't know. Let me give you a better one. Why can you never trust a pig? Why can you never trust a pig?
Here we have.
Why can you never trust a pig?
Gee, Steve, I don't know.
Because they will always squeal. Oink, oink, oink. Get it?
All right, that's a little better.
And speaking of squealing, Steve, speaking of squealing,
What's that?
10 members of the alleged Gambino crime family. You thought they were gone. You thought they went away with John Gotti and Sammy the Bull.
Now they come back.
They always are back. 2 from Long Island.
Of course.
Let's name them. Also charged in the indictment, or no?
Where are they from? Yeah, let's get locations.
All right. Well, there's a couple of Staten Islands, of course. Freehold, New Jersey, big mafia house. The Bronx, of course. Jersey, Bronx, Staten Island, the usual mafia hangouts.
You're run-of-the-mill
mafia.
House mafia.
Yeah, it's your general mafia.
Yeah, right.
This is your general. And look at these guys who are. Wow, this is great. Let's see what they were actually charged with. It says here a woman was threatened at knife point in another incident, according to the bail. No, they were accused of embezzling, of course. That's standard embezzlement in your general mafia.
You're a run-of-the-mill.
Right.
Yeah.
So it says here some of them were charged 16 counts. Some of these people were from Italy. They had to be brought here. It says 2 Long Island men among 10 of the Gambino crime family charged in racketeering by federal prosecutors. They were also engaged in violence. There's a shocker. Extortion and union-related crimes.
Wow.
We'd like you to, join the union. We'd take care of you. Well, I don't know. Do you have any, paperwork? You want paperwork? How's this for paperwork? I'll give you paperwork. Either your signature or your brain's going to be on that line.
Oh, my goodness. That's crazy.
That's how you negotiate a union deal. It's terrible. It's just terrible.
Where on Long Island were these Mamalukes from?
Let's see. Elmont? It's not really Long Island. Is it?
Yes. Elmont is Long Island. Belmont Park is in Elmont.
Belmont Park is in Elmont. I thought Elmont was Queens.
No, it's like on the border there, so it could be either or.
All right. So we'll give them Long Island. We want to take credit, so let's go Long Island. And where's this other guy from? Oh, this goes back to the Sicilian Mafia. This is no joke. Now, Gambino himself lived where?
Massapequa.
Well, there you go. It always goes back to Massapequa.
So one guy was from Elmont? What was he?
I couldn't find where the other guy. Was it this guy? I don't want to show him. Oh, this is the Elmont guy. He looks like a nice guy.
Francesco.
Are you really going to say this guy's name? We got to get out to a car at the end of this. You can use that machine if you like. If you like to return that energy drink.
See those. I'd like to return.
It was more for the joke, but I think you might enjoy it. I really put a lot of thought into that gift. Hey, this just in. I always wanted to say that.
New York Post.
I'm all over the place, Steve. I did this for you. A DC store now has removed toilet paper from their shelves, and you only have the picture. So you buzz and you say, "I'll take Scott's, please," or "I'll take," and what you do is like the razors. You know how you can't, everything's locked up now. So toilet paper now in DC, because there's apparently a lot of toilet paper theft in the DC area for toilet paper.
Wow.
It says more than 3,000 robberies have taken place so far.
Well, everything's locked up now. You've been seeing the drugstores and Targets and.
This is terrible. So what is your toilet paper of choice? I'm looking here. There's Scott's, Cottonelle sounds nice. Cottonelle. Isn't there one with a little huggy bear, little snuggly bear?
It's
Snuggles? Northern Exposure? No, not no. That's the show.
No. Quilted Northern.
Quilted Northern.
Yeah.
Thank you. Charmin. You can't go wrong with Charmin.
That's the bear.
Charmin is the bear. Charmin is the bear. You go with Charmin. I don't know. What do you buy?
I buy Scott.
That seems is a little rough, no? Is there a reason, or you just grew up on Scott's?
It lasts longer.
Is that right?
A lot more sheets than.
You don't get this kind of information on any other podcast show. We go hard hitting into deep issues.
You got it.
The Gambino crime family, and we segue right into toilet paper.
You see the connection.
This show needs a producer. Desperately. Oh, this is good news, Steve. Back to a Newsday story. Riverhead drops plans to ban backyard chicken housing. So right now, they were proposing that they weren't going to let Riverhead people sell eggs or anything else on the side of a road.
Right.
Now it's, the people squawked and they cried foul. You see what I'm doing? And
there something ridiculous on there you can play.
Anyway, so it's if you go to Riverhead, you can raise chickens and sell them on the side of the road. Well, sell the eggs.
Okay.
But these people sell a dozen eggs for $4 a dozen. It says here for $4 a dozen. This woman sells her eggs. That's not a bargain, right? What does a dozen eggs run? You get Eggland's Best for like $3.79 or $3.
Maybe that's. I think that's cheap.
Yeah, eggs have gone up. Eggs have gone up. They have gone up. Eggland's has gone up. If you're tired, I got you that drink if you're tired, but it's not cold. Don't drink it now.
I can't, and it's late too, so I need to be up in the morning.
Oh.
I work.
I know, but you think that's going to keep you up?
Nah, it probably will.
You think it will?
Yes.
Sure, pull that out for a second. Tell me what the caffeine is on that. Give us some stats on that drink. What did I do to you?
I don't know what...
Let's compare my drink, the cool sponsor of the Steve Square Show, proud non-sponsor.
To the gift that you gave me?
To the gift that I gave you.
So don't make it sound like I...
How much sodium is in that?
I selected in this. Sodium, nothing, 0.
Very good. I have 5 milligrams.
Wow.
But it still says 0%, trace amounts. Do you have any B12?
We do.
Go fish. Did you love that game? How much B12 do you have?
6 mcg.
That's it. Me too. Very good. How about a little of that riboflavin? That's what makes this delicious for me. Riboflavin.
It sounds delicious, but it's not, right? It's just a
little riboflavin.
I don't see any. Maybe down here somewhere.
Well, let me look. Let me see the caffeine. I just want to see the caffeine content.
Good luck in trying
to
read
that. 200 milligrams per 16 ounces.
That's caffeine.
And it's 16 ounces. So there's 200 milligrams of caffeine, and it's got sucralose. Oh, it does have some artificial flavors. B12. It's your standard. It's got a little niacin, which niacin is an adrenaline booster for those of you playing at home. I thought I'd get you ramped up for the show like crazy.
I just can't.
All right. You know what? You have it when you go to work in the morning. Maybe you're tired.
Yes.
Have it in the morning.
Maybe you'll do that.
There was something else. Oh, just before I forget, if you want to donate a turkey and you don't know where to go, you go to the bank. Apparently, Bethpage Federal Credit Union is now you deposit turkeys instead of cash. Go over there. You tell them the Steve Square sent you. You get you. This is true. No, Friday, November 17th. This Friday, between the hours of 7:30 and 6, you can. This is on the Bethpage branch only. Don't start running into any bank with a turkey. Just the Bethpage, and they'll take a turkey.
That sounds great.
Now you know what I would do as a joke. I would come in with a live turkey on a leash, and I would say, "Who's?" I'd like to deposit this in my safe deposit box.
I hear this is where all the money is.
Oh, yes, that's where they do it. But you can. This is great thing to do. I think it's important. I do Toys for Tots.
Yes,
it's vital to, especially this time of year.
I've been on.
Steve's been on many of those treks and adventures.
Long treks.
Steve has played Elf with me.
It almost feels like a cross-country trip through the counties.
It's wonderful.
And it's
I know, it's a bit of a, we've had a bit of a lot of things. Oh, remember I was telling you about names? They were saying lots of names. Oh, I added on the card. I said funny man, mentor, coach.
Right.
I was looking back at some of our old shows of interviews, and what do you remember the Matchmaker show?
Yes.
What was her name?
I don't remember.
Maureen Tara Nelson.
Okay.
3 names. Then we had on the director from Fair Market Value. What was her name?
Mary Tyler Moore.
Steve never pays attention. Judy San Roman.
Okay.
And I introduced her as Judy Roman, and she was very taken aback. She said, it's San Roman. Then we had on the Miss New York senior pageant winner. Remember her?
Yes.
She was a very sweet woman.
Mm-hmm.
Had a great story. She came with Shelley, was her husband/producer.
Right.
Her name is Gail Margaret King. So my point to you is I don't have enough names. I think we should start using my middle name.
Stephen Robert.
I was going to make people guess. You gave out the dinner before the amuse-bouche.
I didn't think this...
There was no appetizer. You just served the main entree.
I didn't think this was exciting. Was it?
What, do you have a middle name, or do you like to not divulge that? I don't think I've ever known your
I
name.
mean, I have it's a confirmation name. I never use it, though.
Do you want to share it or not? Is that
I am.
You like to keep it private. Steve likes to keep it private. So it's a confirmation name. It's not your middle name.
No, it wasn't a middle name.
Per se. So, and right, you said Mary Tyler Moore. So I'm saying people of success, 3 names.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Also, mass murderers, serial killers have 3 names also.
That is true. That is true, right? John Wayne Bobbitt?
Yes.
What was the other name?
John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy. Wasn't there a guy with the Unabomber? What was his name? What was that?
I don't know. Ted.
Oh, he had 2 names. Ted Kluszewski? No, that was the baseball player from the 50s. I'm sorry to the Kluszewski family. He was a home run hitter, not a bomber. Ted Kaczynski. Something like that.
I hope, yeah.
I'm calling out a lot of... Well, people are watching this show in horror right now. They've just been labeled a Unabomber. You know who you are anyway. What did you think? Henry Winkler. I love Henry Winkler. Big fan.
Yeah.
I know you love the show Barry, and you've always been a fan.
Of course.
Henry Winkler.
Henry's great.
He's got a memoir just came out.
I heard.
So I was. It's called the. What is it called? I wrote it down.
Sit on it.
Oh, it's called that. It's just called Hey.
Sit on this book. Hey.
Sit on it, shortcake. It's called Being Henry, the Fonz and Beyond. So Being Henry, the Fonz and Beyond. He was obviously. It's funny because I talk about this. I try to connect things. I was watching the Sly documentary, and we talked about this. How they became friends in the Lords of Flatbush movie.
Right.
And when Sylvester Stallone went out west, he was driving this car with this giant dog. He gets stuck out there. The first person he calls for help is Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
Now, Henry Winkler was more of a classically trained.
Yeah, drama school.
He went to drama school. I didn't know he was dyslexic.
Yes, I heard that.
And he had a very tumultuous relationship with his parents.
Mm-hmm.
They were German immigrants, very strong, just wasn't a lot of love there.
Yeah.
So it's looks like an interesting read. I'm finishing up the Arnold book, and then I'll get into the Fonzie book. I'm making my way through all the all the 80s superstars.
All the 70s.
All 70s, 80s, whatever they are. And then I was in the library, one of my favorite spots, and I saw John Stamos has a book out.
Yes, that just came out too.
That looked interesting. I was perusing it. What's it called? Something I Never Knew. It's called something like that.
Okay.
Or whatever it is. John Stamos. And let me show you how I tie this together. Steve's going to love this because it's right here. So,
So you're telling me that Newsday tied it together for you, or?
I put the dots. I put the dots together, but let me just.
Okay.
Wait, where are my dots? I have to show this to you because I think you'll find this quite interesting.
Is that so?
Hold on. This is worth taking a minute here to find this for you. So, John Stamos, which we love from the show, whatever.
What show? Whatever. Can you think?
Yeah, that Full House show.
Oh, the Full House. Yeah.
He was Uncle Joey.
Yes, he was.
Wait, this is terrible. Where is my... I had this all lined up. Is it in here? Probably not. No. It was definitely in here because... Oh, maybe it's... No?
That's the sports section.
That's the sports part of our show. This was not it, right? Oh, yes, this is it. So there she is. Now let's turn it around. So John Stamos was from Full House, and actually on the news today, Bob Saget's widow was on. They were talking.
Mm-hmm.
So look at this and see if you can recognize which of the three is an indicted criminal.
Oh, I know who that is.
Right. We know who's in the middle.
Yes.
Right. But apparently Teflon what's-her-face doesn't seem to have a problem. Whatever network hired Lori Loughlin. Of course, it's got to be one of those Hallmark. It looks like a very Hallmark channel thing, right? This looks very Christmas. Look at that. Very upset about that.
Great American Families. I had never even heard of this. Great American Families of Christmas Blessing.
She's a criminal. I mean, Stamos only messed around, I think, with a little amphetamines.
Well,
this girl did one of these Ponzi college schemes
to get her kids into a good school.
Both of her kids. She told them they were some kind of athletes when they weren't. You remember that whole college scandal thing.
And you do know where she's from.
Massapequa?
Oh, it's from Long Island. I don't think Massapequa.
Now, you threw this away, and I thought you would find something that would have been interest to you. You just tossed this away. Did you see who was in the corner?
Albert Brooks.
Albert Brooks?
Yes.
Did you watch the documentary?
I watched most of it.
Me too. What'd you think?
I thought it was really good.
Really good.
I thought he's great.
It's so interesting. You should watch it. It's on HBO, Defending My Life. The Albert Brooks, guess you would call it a documentary. You know, he's interviewed by
Rob Reiner, who directed it.
And it was great. Obviously, they're really good friends. And it really takes his career and spans it, but it does it in an interesting way. And was your favorite? Did you have a favorite Albert Brooks movie?
I think I had a few of them. I loved Lost America. I loved Modern Romance. Defending Your Life probably his best, and probably one of the best movies.
It was a great movie. I thought it was just like a good movie.
Yeah,
and when you have Rip Torn was right, and the cast was great. Meryl Streep was phenomenal.
But I mean, it was definitely probably one of his deepest movies.
He talked about that as about some more thinking about afterlife. Of course, broadcast news. Mm-hmm. Holly Hunter, such John Byrne, great.
And he was a very good actor. And all these mob boss movies.
Now let's see how much Steve was paying attention to the documentary. What was his first movie?
What was his first movie? Gee, I think maybe you should probably play the dumb music.
Hold on, I'll give you. Do you have a final answer?
Taxi Driver.
Very good. And I thought he had I don't remember him. I clearly didn't remember him as a something memorable role, and it was a pretty good role.
Yes, it was.
Was he like the bank manager or something?
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know what it was.
And let's not forget I think 1 or 2 appearances he made in the first season of The Odd Couple.
Yes,
he was the ad executive.
Yes, that's great. He was great. He could play any. I loved him in later on when he was Paul Rudd's dad in Mrs. 40.
Great movie. Oh my God, he was fantastic.
When he had the kids, he goes, "What am I doing with these kids? Here's your brother."
And the whole scene when when he's they're in the hospital and Albert Brooks is just explaining to his wife what's going to happen as he gets older. Get into details.
Leslie Mann plays Paul Rudd's wife, and he's like, "This is what you have to look forward to." But we're fighters. It's very good. He's good. He's such a great career.
One day you're going to turn around, wake up in the and you're going to be sleeping next to a rabbi. It was just like, God.
Funny. Yeah, he was.
No, he didn't write that. Judd Apatow wrote that line, I
Right.
think. Yeah, but just brilliant.
But the way he delivers everything,
Yes,
he just has this real sardonic way of like delivering lines. It's just there's always a biting sarcasm almost to every line he delivers.
Yes,
it's just very good, and he's it's just a way about him. It was great. I was looking forward to seeing it. I didn't know it came out already. I just turned it on. It was on, so I said, I watched it. It was so good.
It is. What's going on here? Oh my God! They even tell you the hockey. Who wants to watch the Islanders? They're horrible. They just.
I don't even know about. Is the hockey's bad too?
They're horrible. And
Rangers?
the other day, Rangers I think are doing all right.
All right.
Islanders, not so good. The other night I think they broke records as the lowest attendance at UBS Arena, and so it goes. So it goes.
So I want to go though. I still want to see a hockey game.
We gotta go.
Maybe I'll get birthday gift. We'll get tickets. Go for your birthday.
Go to UBS. The tickets are really cheap
now. That's probably cheap now.
Really cheap.
The Knicks are doing pretty good. They won 3 in a row. So there's a little hope there for the Knicks. The football is done. Now, here's interesting. I'm always looking for career paths. And Steve always calls me coach. So it got me thinking. I look here, and there's a few openings for managers in Major League Baseball.
Wow.
Let's see who's in. This is my best hiring. The Angels of Anaheim have hired none other than Ron Washington.
After they said no to Buck Showalter.
Ron. Now, if you know Ron Washington,
yeah,
there's a colorful career, I'll say.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Ron?
Oh, you don't want me to tell you?
No, come on, Steve. It's all right. You can tell everyone. We know what's happening.
I'll just say he enjoyed living in the picture behind me, if you know what I mean.
I don't know. That's if you're doing something a little.
That's true.
More like pod.
Right.
Ron was a fan of the.
He was more
Colombian.
Yes, he was very big fan of the
Colombian.
He was more. Why does this not work anymore? Did I lose this?
They lost you. They had it with you.
I did. How annoying. Look at that. That's terrible. Yeah, that's weird, right? I guess you only get a certain amount of time on the free version of the app.
Well, maybe you should.
So, what do you think? Here's a couple of openings. The Astros, I wouldn't coach them. No way. Wouldn't do it.
Why not?
No.
Dusty Baker just finished there? I could see you doing that.
No. Here's somewhere I might go. The Milwaukee Brewers have an opening. I love Laverne and Shirley. I got a lot of taste of Milwaukee from watching that show. Bottle cappers, schlemiel, schlemazel, constipated, fornicated. Da 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 da. Is that not right? All right. Oh, there's an opening. This is it, Steve. This is my job, and I'm bringing you on as an assistant coach.
Oh, what's that?
You'll be the mental prep coach for the team. This is the San Diego Padres. How would you not love to live there? Oh.
It's rough over there.
San Diego?
The Padres.
But they actually have a good team.
Well,
I mean, 2 years ago they were in the pennant.
They were, and then they
knocked off the Mets.
They knocked off the Mets. Then, like the Mets, they blew it the next season. They spent all this money, all the money they had.
They did spend a lot of money.
They're going to lose Soto. They're going to trade Soto.
Who's the other? They got Machado too, right?
Manny Machado. There's a piece of work for you. Good luck with that, coach. How would you handle a prima donna?
Well,
what would you do, coach?
I would the first thing I would do is bail him out and get him out of jail, and then get him back with the team. and then once all charges were acquitted, I would tell him, look, because you don't know how to reach people. I know how to speak to all different kinds of people, and that's why I'd make a good coach. I'd say, look, you got to stop this. I was like you as a kid, if only living in suburbia Long Island. But I understand what it's like to come from a rough neighborhood and to be involved in gangs and drugs and rise above that. I get it. I had boils as a kid. I chased my brother down with an axe. I was there. And now look at me. Still nowhere.
No one ever says what happened to Jack's brother. What happened to Jack's
Look
brother?
up Jack's brother.
You know?
I'll tell you what happened to Jack's brother. He got jackknifed.
Whoa.
They're starting to hire older. And the Mets got. What do you think of the Mets hiring? Carlos Mendoza.
I mean,
it's kind of man-easy. It's kind of like no feeling. You know what I mean?
He was at Boone's bench coach the last 4 years.
Yeah. How good was that?
I would rather have kept with Buck, but I think it's obvious what the deal is. The manager in Major League Baseball is no longer the manager.
No.
The GMs
this guy,
should have,
and I think this guy's running the show.
Should have the cojones. The GMs in Major League Baseball should have the cojones to go down into the dugout and manage the team, because that's what they. So instead
they like that little buffer to stay in the post game.
So instead of blaming it and telling Buck, no, we want Vogel's back.
Right, to bat, but steal bases.
Cheeseburger boy,
Steve going right at the guy. He's got a little midsection there.
You know, and I love analytics. I'm fine with analytics, but please don't tell me that you can go strictly by analytics. It's stupid, and it doesn't make the game interesting.
Speaking of that, Brian Cashman of the Yankees took it personal when a reporter had the tenacity, the temerity to actually ask him and say, "You guys go heavy analytics." And he said, "What are you talking about? That's a small part of what we do."
That's such garbage, isn't it?
It is beyond garbage. This
and
all they do is
congratulate him on his one World Series in 20-something years. And maybe he needs to do something different.
And I'll tell you, he took a lot of credit for the work.
Barista might be good.
Don't put down the barista.
Yeah, you're right.
He took a lot of credit for what Gene Michael, Bob Watson, and those guys did in the 90s.
They built.
Gene Michael. They said he wanted Bernie, he wanted Mariano, he wanted Jeter to be brought up. He made all those moves. When George was like, "Get rid of these guys, rookies. I don't want any of these young players."
You know, and I don't like the way Cashman.
I call him Cash.
Cash dealt with Jeter when he had to resign.
Oh, he did it a lot.
Yeah, like he's some other piece of meat. He
had a lot. Cashman. I never liked him. My brother-in-law. We always talk about it. I watched this great documentary. Well, I saw it in the movies with my brother and Kevin. Did you see the Yogi thing?
Yep.
You must have seen it. I watched it with my folks. Yeah. They were interested to see it. I watched it again.
It's back on again on Netflix.
Yeah, well, it was great, right?
Yeah, it was very good.
And it was touching. Very, it's so funny because, there's this kind of cuddly, right, looked at as this, but achieved so much.
He's such a smart guy. He was a smart man.
I mean, when you talk about, there wasn't a lot of pitchmen. He pitched everything.
Right.
I mean, The Face of Yoo-Hoo, Aflac, all of these great commercials.
Well, Aflac, yeah, but Yoo-Hoo was probably the real success story. How did he
get that?
I don't know, but he had part.
He
had a percentage, and he was getting a percentage, I believe.
Yeah.
He made a lot of money.
I love when they show the young Jason Alexander in the beer commercial.
Yes.
And he's doing, he's doing his yogiism, and Jason's going like this, making the face, a young actor on the rise.
Right.
It's so funny, right? And he would be playing a Yankee
traveling secretary.
It's so funny.
Assistant secretary of the New York Yankees.
He goes, DiMaggio, Rizzuto, Costanza. He goes, the New York Yankees, baby. He goes, I'm flying, Jerry. And then they get the wool uniforms. He had the idea. He goes, they breathe better.
They talked to him during when he was managing the Mets, and Buck says, I had no idea what the Seinfeld was.
Oh, that's funny. And there was an episode, right? Didn't he have Bernie and Jeter? He was teaching them how to and then they show him swinging, and he goes out of Yankee Stadium. Hey, do you know a lot of people from Massapequa?
So do you.
I do. Well, you know a lot of people. I'm wondering, do you know this guy, Sadyakov? He's a UFC fighter, apparently very big, and he's from Massapequa. Do you know this guy? Have you ever been punched in the face by this guy?
No.
Ever been in a bar where this guy did a suplex on you?
Maybe one of
put you in one of these.
Maybe one of our friends have.
That's true. We don't hang around that circle anymore. This is a UFC big time fighter. He was fighting where? At the Garden. And yeah, he's a UFC from Massapequa. I love when people are from us. I saw
not a particularly good shot of him.
Wait, no, this is him.
No, that's his. No,
no, he's
Slavkov. Okay,
he's Sadiakov.
Yeah, I was looking.
No, they're gonna show a good picture of him. He's the guy ready to. He's cocking back.
He's raised in Staten Island.
Right, but so he's originally from, I guess, born in Mass. Well, no, he was born in Serbia. He's Serbian, and then he, by happenstance,
he found this place.
I was watching the Andrew Dice Clay interview this morning on Rosanna Scotto. With Rosanna Scotto.
Oh, really?
And she made him give her his coffee. She goes, you're drunk. She goes, what's in that coffee? And he goes, it's coffee, I'm telling you, it's coffee. And he goes, Rosanna, what's wrong with you? Did I come on here and pitch this? We were drinking? He's like, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. So she takes it and she smells it. She goes, oh, okay, it's coffee. And he goes, come on. And then he goes, I'm too old for that. Maybe 30 years ago I'd do something like that. And he just performed with, like, in front of 60,000 people at the Guns N' Roses concert last month.
Yeah, well...
I mean, he didn't. He
opened whatever he did.
But he's still a name. I'm saying he still can draw crowds.
He didn't do it. They went to see Guns N' Roses. They didn't go to see Dice.
I know, but I'm saying even for Guns N' Roses to bring him out,
Well, I mean, honestly, they didn't go. They did.
What was that awful show he did? He had a show that he played a dad or something. It was like a season.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called.
I forgot what it was called.
It wasn't great.
Was the Andrew Dice Clay show? I don't know.
But
I mean, it wasn't good. He was in A Star Is Born.
Yes, he played Lady
Gaga's dad. He
was good in that.
Yes, he was.
And it's funny because you wouldn't even know. He almost was different in that.
Well, he's gray.
Yeah, but
he's still great. No, yeah.
You usually know that voice.
Yeah.
And he was hard to, unless you knew that he was in it. I thought it was, but that was, I thought you might know this guy. I was curious to see if you knew.
I haven't run into him.
But stay away. We're almost done, Steve. We're almost out of here. 7:22. So what's your plans now? You have to get up early. You have an early call.
I do.
They call that an early call.
Steve's
going to be on set very early in the morning.
That's right.
So let me. This is. Let me see. What's on Hulu? I see there's something on Hulu. I don't have Hulu. You do, right?
Yep.
Is there a lot of good things on Hulu?
Some good things on Hulu.
I'm not a big Hulu guy.
Why not?
I just the name bothers me.
Do you want me to read some things for you?
No. What's the biggest thing on Hulu right now? Is there like a big show? Hey, the Marvels thing tanked.
Absolutely yes, they did. They didn't. Yeah, relatively speaking, they did. You're right.
Tanked.
No, I mean
it's too much
not
already.
Everything is.
It's just too much. This whole Marvel universe is too much.
It's their ways. That's what it is.
Well, you look. Oh, you got something? Anything you can recommend on Hulu?
Well,
what could you recommend?
We have the Lady Bird Diaries about Lady Bird Johnson, LBJ's wife. That's this one came up. We have this. A lot of
sounds good so far.
A lot of things that are on ABC since now Disney owns all of Hulu now. So, let's see. We got.
It's only an hour show. Find something.
Let's go to movies and see what we got.
What do we got on Hulu?
Sweetwater.
Oh, classic.
Oh, Hollywood Homicide from 2003 with Harrison Ford and. What's his name?
Dice Clay?
No, Josh Hartnett.
I love Josh Hartnett. He was great in Pearl Harbor.
Who wasn't?
Fantastic.
Oh, let me recommend. Oh, this is on Hulu now, and I did see this in the movies. Ray Romano directed and stars in this movie, Somewhere in Queens.
I looked at it and it looked a little corny.
Did you watch it? I did.
Was it good?
Yes, it was.
His wife is good in it. Who plays his wife?
That is Laurie Metcalf, who's great.
I love Laurie Metcalf.
Such a great actress.
Yeah.
She's from the Midwest, and she sounded like
Midwest.
Some chick from Queens.
Oh, she did the real
Some
Queens. Oh, she
Queens.
totally. Well,
she was great.
I like her. I was only going to watch
But
it.
really, a
with
great cast.
Yeah, the cast looks
Sebastian Maniscalco, Tony LoBianco, all your favorite Italians.
Yeah, but I'll say this: Sebastian Maniscalco, I love him. He's not an actor, and they put him in these things, and they gave him that big role in Green Book, which he wasn't awful. I mean, he just really had to play himself. You know,
it really wasn't.
It wasn't. Whatever. But
he wasn't the star of it.
No, not by a long shot. No. But he played his brother, which was a role. And now he's in this. I didn't see how he was in this. And I saw About Our Father, the one with Robert De Niro.
I hear that was terrible.
Oh, Steve, it was so bad. It was just awful. It was god awful. I forget what it was. So my point is, I think even as Jerry Seinfeld knows, know your lane. Robin Williams, those certain guys, Jim Carrey's, they can parlay their stand-up into they're great actors. Bill Burr, is that who it is?
Comedian Bill Burr.
He's in a movie now.
Yep.
About our dads. Again, another dad's. It's always this dad's, kind of narrative.
I mean, you could do a movie about your dad, Ted's Gym. You know, that would be a movie right there.
My dad wants to be in a movie.
Yeah.
I had that deal. We were trying to work on that Jack LaLanne deal, which was still, simmering somewhere in the universe. And I had promised my dad, I said, you're going to get a role in this movie. And unfortunately,
promised that it didn't work out.
Well, it's not happening yet. But if this thing gets sold,
it's percolating.
It's marinating. Everything's marinating in Hollywood.
It's all marinating.
You were thinking of Marilyn Monroe, and she's always marinating.
Right.
Let me read this quick. This is a love story, and I always love love stories. You know how I feel about love.
Oh, I do.
I am the king of
You're
love.
Full of love.
I love it. It says here, Dominic Jr. and Aaron Morelli, their love story is a bit on the unusual side.
Right. How's that?
This is their wedding story. The pair met in 2018 when both were coming home on a train from Duke University.
Is that so?
Oh, sure. Erin, her maiden name Kuchelewski, approached Dominic, teasing him about the 24 Krispy Kreme donuts he snagged to get on the train.
Of course!
It's always right at the heart of the stomach gut.
Always.
Make the guy feel bad. Unconventional for the girl to make the first move.
Right.
Really? For 2018, it's unconventional?
I guess so.
The two stayed in touch but didn't start seriously dating until this guy approached 300 pounds. Now, almost 8 months later when they met up on Fire Island when they were out with friends.
There you go.
Okay, now it's getting steamy. They call it steamy. That's when we really solidified things, Aaron says. Fast forward to September 29th of this year. The two lovebirds were planning to tie the knot in an evening ceremony, but a major rainstorm had descended on the island. Do you remember this?
I do remember it well.
It never stopped, said Dominic, 31. To make matters worse, a tractor trailer had jackknifed. I love the word when a trailer jackknives. Not just flips over, jackknifed. I still don't know what that means, but it jackknifed on the highway.
It jackknifed. So,
okay.
So you got the truck, you got the where the cargo is,
yes,
and then you have the carrier, and then you have the
carriage.
The carriage.
Right.
So jackknife's like a jackknife.
It almost spins around.
Yes.
So
it's then
jackknifed. He's not just a pretty face. So to make matters worse, a tractor trailer jackknifed, of course, on the Seaford Oyster Bay.
right when you were trying to get somewhere.
Not far from where their wedding was, the Fox Hollow. Their guests, if they could get through it all, had to park a half a mile away.
Is that so?
Walking in the torrential downpour, or being shuttled by buses, if they could find one. I can't find a bus on Long Island.
No, not at all.
Nobody had lifts, no? It always says that your wedding day is the shortest day of your life. Not ours. This was the longest day of my life, he says. Well, I guess they haven't had kids yet. But anyway, nothing even came close to Dominic. Despite all of the obstacles, they popped up on our wedding day, and we will never forget that moment. And it says here, all of the love that filled the room will forever be in our memory. Now, let me tell you something, Dominic. if a tractor-trailer jackknifing on your wedding day is not a sign that this is going to be a doom's wedding, a doomed from the start, you stop that wedding right there. This is not love, conquers all. This is getting hit in the face. Call it off! If a woman made fun of me on the outset about donuts or something like that, I'm not marrying her. At the Fox Hollow, no less. That's a dump.
I hope he's watching.
It says here the Fox Hollow catered the reception. Mike's Delight food truck finished off the night with a fare from a Chick-fil-A and All-American Drive-In in Massapequa.
Look at that.
The couple spent $85,000 on their wedding. They will never see a dime of that back in wedding gifts. So they're starting their marriage off in debt.
What do they do?
I don't know. Doesn't say. It says the honeymoon was in St. Lucia, was planned for next year.
Right.
Let's Dance was their song, or Beyond by Leon Bridges.
Beyond. Oh, I just played it on my show last week.
I don't know that.
Great song. Oh my God, such a great song.
What Erin loves about Dominic.
What's that?
His gut. No. His loyalty, his energy, his sense of humor. These are things you fill out on a dating app. This is not. Does she even know this guy? This is terrible. Krispy Kreme, no less. What Dominic loves about Erin. How she can match my energy. But also remind me when it's time to slow down and take time for myself. How she's able to put her unique little personality on things. How intelligent she is. How she makes me laugh when I'm down. I'll tell you, it might sound corny, but I just love her to pieces. That'll conclude today's episode of the Steve Squared Show as we approach 7:31, the bewitching hour where we get Steve home in time for tomorrow's call.
Thank you.
From the psychedelic set.
Yes.
For myself, for birthday man, Steve the Emster. Happy birthday to my dad once again.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
For Henry Winkler, our guest, for Albert Brooks, and all the others that weren't able to come here today, apologies to Steve and Charles, who's in the parking lot, was waiting angrily. He's over at Gov's right now, waiting for us to say, come on in. I hope I remembered to text him. Oh, boy.
God.
Anyway, maybe we'll just tell him the clock's going to turn back and we're on time.
That's not good.
Anyway, have a great week. What's coming? No, we'll be on next time. We'll be in the studio, but actually, when we're in the studio, it'll be after Thanksgiving already.
There you go. Wow.
So
we'll be in the middle of that season. This is Steve.
Oh, my big season. Do you know
Steve's
they're already
big
playing
season.
Christmas songs in stores? It's terrible. I went into Marshall's, TJ Maxx. I can't. I just want where is the spring? Where's the summer? This isn't. I have to go away. I need to go away. I need to go into that psychedelic thing behind us and come out on March 21st. Anyway, have a safe week. Steve, again, enjoy.
Thank you, Steve, so much.
Enjoy